Welcome to Noble Black News, where we dive deep and bring captivating African stories to the world. Today, we take you to Burkina Faso, a land of rich culture and history. This beautiful nation faced an unprecedented threat as terrorist factions from neighboring Mali began to infiltrate its borders. The once peaceful country found itself engulfed in fear and turmoil. Amidst this chaos, a new leader emerged, determined to restore peace and security. President Ibrahim Traoré, with his unwavering resolve, vowed to combat the rising tide of terror and transform Burkina Faso into a bastion of resilience. Join us as we explore this remarkable journey of courage and transformation.
As part of our overall process, we have always wished for the beautiful and culturally rich country of Burkina Faso to leave this unfortunate state of underdevelopment and reach the prosperous level we dream of. To achieve this ambitious goal, we have undertaken many significant, impactful, and transformative initiatives. In the field of agriculture, in the field of industry, agribusiness, energy, which is very challenging and complex for us and is currently being effectively resolved in various domains and sectors of activity, whether it be in infrastructure and also the aspect of the defense and security forces.
Transforming Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré's military triumph. Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, buzzed with an unusual tension. The streets were lined with Russian tanks and soldiers, their presence heavy under the hot sun. President Ibrahim Traoré watched from his office window, the weight of his recent request to Putin lingering in his mind. The construction of a nuclear plant in Burkina Faso was a bold move, one that could shift the balance of power in West Africa. Burkina Faso, a land of rich culture and history, faced an unprecedented threat as terrorist factions from neighboring Mali began to infiltrate its borders. The once peaceful nation found itself engulfed in fear and turmoil. Amidst this chaos, a new leader emerged, determined to restore peace and security. President Ibrahim Traoré, with his unwavering resolve, vowed to combat the rising tide of terror and transform Burkina Faso into a bastion of resilience. Traoré grabbed his radio. All units, this is President Traoré. Engage defensive protocols, protect our citizens and support our Russian allies. Mr. President, the Russian commander is here to see you, announced his aide. Traoré turned to greet General Sergei Ivanov, a hulking figure in full combat gear. General Ivanov, welcome, Traoré said, extending his hand. I trust your men are settling in well. Ivanov's grip was firm indeed. Mr. President, we're ready to begin the training exercises. But first, there's the matter of the nuclear plant. The incursions from Mali were brutal and relentless. Terrorist groups, well armed and ruthless, targeted villages and towns, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The local population, caught in the crossfire, lived in constant fear. The government, recognizing the gravity of the situation, needed a decisive plan to counter this menace. President Traoré, newly elected and driven by a vision of a secure Burkina Faso, immediately convened with his top military advisors.
Engineering vehicles. Take the necessary time to provide comprehensive training to the team members so that they can be thoroughly prepared for the effective use of these resources. Remember that we are in a world of predation. To have peace, we must make war.
Of the situation, needed a decisive plan to counter this menace. President Traoré, newly elected and driven by a vision of a secure Burkina Faso, immediately convened with his top military advisors. Understanding that a conventional approach would not suffice, Traoré and his team devised an audacious plan, Operation Desert Shield. This plan aimed to strike at the heart of the terrorist networks, dismantling their operations and restoring peace. The French military, however, had not taken kindly to this development. Despite official agreements to withdraw, French soldiers remained entrenched, their blue helmets a stark contrast against the arid landscape. As night fell over the Sahel, the quiet desert sands belied the intensity of the preparations underway. Special forces, handpicked for their expertise and bravery, geared up for the mission. Their objective was clear: to launch a surprise attack on the terrorist stronghold, disrupting their operations and sending a strong message. The operation commenced under the cover of darkness. Moving swiftly and silently, Traoré's forces navigated the harsh desert terrain. The element of surprise was on their side. As dawn broke, the first shots were fired. The battle that ensued was fierce and unforgiving. Despite being outnumbered, the well-coordinated efforts of Traoré's forces began to turn the tide. Burkinabe soldiers, under the guidance of their Russian trainers, joined the fray. It was a coordinated dance of warfare, a testament to the rapid training they'd undergone. Civilians scrambled for cover, the sounds of battle creating a cacophony of fear and adrenaline. Traoré's heart pounded as he watched the conflict unfold on the monitors in his office. He knew that this moment could define his presidency and the future of his nation. In the heart of the city, a squad of Burkinabe soldiers, led by Captain Idrissa, found themselves pinned down by a group of French paratroopers.
For the first phase, in the initial stage, as far as you are concerned, it was absolutely necessary for us to carefully consider logistics, armament, vehicles, and everything that follows. What is gradually improving and consistently, and we will continue moving forward in this positive and direction to enable you to carry out the noble and honorable fight for this beloved homeland. But in addition to all that, we told ourselves one thing: for the nation to exist, endure, and develop, you all need to be strong. And being strong is not just about logistics, but also about psychological strength. There is this family stability that every fighter needs when they are on the battlefield.
Captain called for reinforcements, his voice steady despite the hail of bullets. Climactic battle and destruction of the terrorist hideout. The pivotal moment came when intelligence pinpointed the location of the main terrorist hideout, a heavily fortified compound hidden deep within the desert. Traoré, displaying exemplary leadership, led a daring charge against this stronghold. His presence on the front lines inspired his troops and demoralized the terrorists. As the forces approached the compound, they encountered fierce resistance. The battle was intense, with heavy gunfire and explosions echoing across the desert. Traoré's strategic acumen came to the fore as he directed his troops to encircle the hideout, cutting off all escape routes. With the compound surrounded, Traoré ordered a final assault. Under his command, specialized units breached the defenses and stormed the hideout. The firefight inside was brutal, but the determination and skill of Traoré's forces prevailed. Room by room, they cleared the compound, eliminating key terrorist leaders and rescuing hostages. The culmination of the assault was marked by a dramatic moment. Traoré personally led the charge into the command center of the terrorists. After a brief but intense skirmish, the terrorists were overwhelmed. With their leadership dismantled and their base destroyed, the remaining terrorists fled or were captured. The success of Operation Desert Shield, marked by the destruction of the terrorist hideout, was a turning point for Burkina Faso. However, President Traoré knew that the fight was far from over. Continuous efforts were necessary to ensure lasting peace and stability. Strengthening border security, enhancing intelligence operations, and fostering regional cooperation became top priorities. Traoré's leadership extended beyond the battlefield. He initiated programs to support the affected communities, rebuild infrastructure, and provide psychological support to those traumatized by the violence. His comprehensive approach emphasized not just military might, but also the resilience and unity of the people. President Ibrahim Traoré's military triumph against terrorism in Burkina Faso stands as a testament to the power of courage, strategy, and unwavering determination. His legacy is one of resilience and hope, inspiring future generations to stand against oppression and fight for a better future. Burkina Faso, though scarred by conflict, emerged stronger and more united. The battle against terror continues, but with leaders like Traoré and the spirit of its people, the nation looks forward to a future of peace and prosperity. Thank you for joining us on this journey at Noble Black News, where we bring the most compelling African stories to the world. President Ibrahim Traoré's military triumph against terrorism in Burkina Faso stands as a testament to the power of courage, strategy, and unwavering determination. His legacy is one of resilience and hope, inspiring future generations to stand against oppression and fight for a better future. Burkina Faso, though scarred by conflict, has emerged stronger and more united. The battle against terror continues, but with leaders like Traoré and the indomitable spirit of its people, the nation looks forward to a future of peace and prosperity. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to Noble Black News for more inspiring stories that celebrate the resilience and triumphs of Africa. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.
We have all indeed been on the ground. We have experienced circumstances where, often while being on the ground, your mind is actually at home. In fact, because you are unable to solve a number of problems, perhaps financial in nature. Generally, it comes down to that, and it disrupts the fighter. Today, we have many severely injured. We also, unfortunately, realize that this issue has not been addressed as it should have been. The proof is that up to the moment I am speaking to you, we have not been able to list all those who have been injured, since the beginning of this conflict. As a result, we have decided to launch a platform so that people who have been injured, who did not have a circumstantial report, or who were not reported, can register themselves on this list. I think just a few weeks ago, we had a conference in this exact same room to launch this process, because an agency was created specifically to take care of war casualties. In the same vein, we have considered the orphans, who will also be listed across all ranks of uniformed personnel, including the defense and security forces, so that we can take care of them. And schools for the wards of the nation will be established. And in our education policy, eventually we'll make education free in Burkina. We want this free education to start with these schools for the nation's wards. So, the orphans of our heroes. In addition to all this, which was the first time creating the agency to take care of the injured babies and orphans, we are now in a new phase to address the aspect that is very important to the military, the financial aspect. This morning, we wanted to present this cooperative to you. How exactly will it work? What are precisely the main objectives of this cooperative and its goals? What is the aim of the cooperative? And gradually, in all the garrisons, missions will have to be sent to further explain the merits of this cooperative and to inform people about what they can expect from it. Furthermore, additionally, and in return the question you asked here this morning, in the different garrisons you will have to ask many questions, and I think a General Assembly is also planned in the cooperative's organizational chart so that inputs and various contributions for improvement can come from you. We want you to be able to save at a much higher rate and have very specific savings, each according to what they want and the products that will be offered. When the soldier finds himself facing various issues and complexities after his initial loans, it's a long-term problem because the salary is not enough. It cannot be proportional to the financial expenses. And I think the elders thought very well by introducing, I believe since the 1980s, the fact that the defense and security forces can engage in fields such as agriculture and livestock. So, how do we go about starting a business? That's the second question. Here too, the cooperative should be able to help, to allow you to invest in this field, because it is not prohibited. Today, we launched the Presidential Initiative for Food Self-Sufficiency. We launched the Agricultural Offensive, and in the initiative, the military is involved, and I think many of you have seen fields developed this season in their barracks, in their garrison. I think that in Ouagadougou, here at Didou, Kayak, a package. All over, large boreholes have been drilled, and the military will be trained in agriculture and livestock farming in quite specific areas, and I think there is one that is currently developing. We need to arrive at a solution to the problem, but many want to invest. How do we proceed and find a way forward to make a decision? That will also be definitely taken into account so that we can help you invest in this field, because agriculture feeds the entire population. It was authorized for those in uniform. Livestock farming feeds people. It's the other businesses that we don't allow. Even among officers, the salary is not enough. It's not possible. If you manage to undertake meaningful actions to improve your living conditions and participate in national life, I think that's not bad. That doesn't prevent fighting at all because you are creating other jobs, you are on the ground. When situations arise, they get resolved. Burkina imports a lot in this area. You know that we import many various products. Just for the mining structures alone, it's not enough, significantly. But the army must participate. In the initiative, we have decided to train the active military personnel and those who will retire for their reintegration. To invest, you will need money, an investment at a fairly flexible rate without hassle. And I think the cooperative is here to solve this problem as well. I have said it before and I will say it again, no nation can develop without a strong defense and security system. it is not possible. Look closely, since the 90s, it's fitting. The elders are here. How was the army equipped during the revolution? You can go through the camps and see the remains of completely and utterly destroyed armored vehicles, and others that were there. How everything was systematically and thoroughly dismantled to make us very weak and then send terrorism to seize our lands. Understand this. To develop, we indeed need a strong army. We need a strong security system. And to have this system, it's not just about logistics. We definitely need to be stable in our minds. And to be stable in mind, we indeed need to improve the living conditions of the brave fighters that you are. We are fully committed to this process so that the living conditions of the defense and security forces can improve. We will certainly be proud to definitely improve the living and working conditions for you and your families. That is why this cooperative has been carefully thought out and considered and planned. And in addition to the cooperative, there will be another phase that concerns the economy of the armies, because civilians also encourage them. They want to see you in good shape. They want to see you free in your mind to be able to defend them. Otherwise, they wouldn't contribute to equip you. We want everyone to understand the scope of the cooperative, join it, be able to explain it to their peers, and develop it quickly and effectively so that we can drastically change things in a short period of time and efficiently. The factory we recently launched in Bobo is in the same vein. When we see defense and security forces walking around in faded uniforms, it hurts, and we have evaluated what we spend. Police, national or municipal police, GSP, gendarmerie, customs, army. What we spend on purchasing uniforms enormous. It's billions, and it's employment that we are giving to the outside. So we decided to set up the factory on site to produce everything needed for clothing, to ensure proper attire. So, Comipex is an important first step. More steps will gradually follow in the future. Everyone is involved, with the Minister of Finance at the forefront, so that we can create something, an efficient tool that we will oversee, which should allow our various defense and security forces to live with dignity and to fight for the freedom of our homeland. This is the very essence of the creation of this cooperative.
Welcome to Noble Black News, where empowerment meets truth. Our mission is to uplift and empower the Black community. We stand for truth, integrity, and representation. Our stories are your stories, told with pride and passion. Join us as we celebrate our heritage and our future. Together, we are stronger, louder, and more united. Noble Black News is your voice, your platform, your news. We bring you the stories that matter, with integrity and heart. Our commitment is to the truth, no matter the cost. We highlight the achievements and struggles of our community. Every story we tell is a step towards empowerment. We are more than news. We are a movement. Join us in making a difference, one story at a time. Together, we can change the narrative. Noble Black News, empowering our community, one story at a time.